a row. They're fifth in their last 6 games, and they're tomorrow night looking to make it 4 straight. 35 from Norman Powell, with 18 of them in that fourth quarter. A double-double from Ivica Zubats, 20 and 16, 27 for James Harden. Chris Dunn going to put the headset on for us. Dunn, you got us?
Yep.
Appreciate you hopping on. Congratulations on the victory. Chris, early in this game, the Pelicans were shooting the lights out from downtown. What was the conversation among the team when a team is shooting so hot, you guys seem to be playing the right style of defense?
Yeah, I mean, that's the NBA. Every team, is good. It's hard to get a win each and every night. So, we had a bucket down second half. Just keep playing solid defense and, try to get stops, try to create turnovers and get our offense going.
Obviously, maybe not the way you guys wanted to this one to go on the front end of a back-to-back, but you come away with a victory. You've now won 4 straight clutch games. You're 5-1 in your last 6 clutch games. Where does that comfort come from late in games for this team?
You got to credit the whole group, to the coaching staff, to the players on the floor, even the bench guys that's coming in. Everybody plays a part. Everyone buys in. No one gets rattled. I think that's the key to getting victories, down the stretch. Everybody staying poised, communicating, and doing the right things.
Chris, you had 6 assists tonight. You've averaged 4 in your last 5 games. How has that part of your game evolved as of late? Seemed like you're really finding your teammates on the offensive end.
Yeah, we got players, who get a lot of attention. Credit Uno, he's unselfish. Norm, he's unselfish. And, I feel like I could be dominating the paint, when they get trapped. My first instinct is to be a pass-first point guard. And I just try to make plays. We got great scorers on our team, and I just try to make the right play each and every time.
Well, congratulations. You made the right plays tonight, and the Clippers come away with a win. Go enjoy this one with your teammates. Thanks so much.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
116-113. The Clippers take down the Pelicans in a comeback victory. 35 for Norman Powell. Adam Oslin is going to take over after this one. Exhale, Clipper Nation. It all works out in the end. See you on the flip side. Clippers 116, Pelicans 113 on your Clippers Audio Network.
The Clippers survive 18 three-pointers made by the Pelicans thanks to 35 from Norman Powell, who had 16 points in the fourth, and they hold on to win 116-113 in New Orleans. Welcome into your postgame show. I'm Adam Oslin. Coming up, we will get to your second half highlights, your postgame box score, and more. But back on the show now is your radio voice of the Clippers in Carlo Jimenez. Carlo, this team was in an uphill battle the majority of the ball game, but somehow, some way, they find a way late to pull through with a necessary victory. Not a must-win game, but a necessary victory, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a headache from start to finish, Adam. I think I started this game thinking, oh, it was a good game. And then as the Pelicans held the lead and it went on, you're just like, okay, when are they going to take a lead? When are they going to take a lead? It took until the 3-minute mark, Adam. The Clippers led at the end of the third quarter, or the end of the first quarter. They would not have another lead for 2 whole quarters. It'd take all of the second, all of the third, most of the fourth before they would get another lead and hang on to it. 116-113. Just a gritty win by this team. Law Murray kind of talked about, Adam, how the Clippers had been really focused this season in every game, and how in the pregame show with you, he said there hadn't been any unserious starts to contest. It felt like to begin this game, the Clippers did not take the Pelicans as seriously as they needed to. They had so many turnovers to start the ball game. There was a ton of points off turnovers for the Pels, and for this Clipper team, just an opportunity to lock up late. What impressed me the most, again, Adam, is that they were able to just hang on down the stretch. And that's what matters. They fought for every loose ball. They were able to come away with the steals when they needed it. I think they passed the ball excellently. And in a game in which, look, Norman Powell is 4 for 12 from 3. The Clippers come away with the win. What more can you say? I mean, just exhale, right? You just exhale, and as Fitz says, the video coordinator with the Clippers, you worry about tomorrow, and that's what the Clippers will do.
Yeah, you're going to have to. But I'm going to worry about people not recognizing Norman Powell as one of the best players in this league, specifically a top 24 player, which means he should be voted into the All-Star game. I'm going to remind you all one more time, NBA.com/Clippers/vote. Please vote for your squad. Norman Powell, without him in this one, without him this season, this team has no chance of being 19-13 without Kawhi Leonard where they're at, and just a stellar performance. As you mentioned there, it wasn't that he just got hot from the outside or it was some crazy shooting game. He had to do the hard stuff. He had to get downhill. He had to get into traffic and get some tough layups to go. But Norman Powell was absolutely cooking in the second half. And, Big Zoo got involved too. DJ, another big third quarter from him with a couple of huge throwdowns, including one on Misi. That's one of the highlights of the season. This Clippers team, they find different ways to win. And I do think it says something about them when you don't have your best, when things are going against you, when the opposition that typically shoots 33% from the outside ends up hitting 18 threes and knocking down 49% of them, when it just feels like maybe it could be their night for their 6th victory and you still come away with a win, I think that's the mark of a good ball club here, Carlo.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you, Adam. The Clippers, when they went on that 26-5 stretch, and not every game was a blowout pretty victory. I mean, they won some ugly ones in that stretch, and this is not a pretty one for this Clipper team, but it's a win. They come in, they handle business, and they come away with the victory. There's a whole lot of film they got to watch on this game to figure out, how do you take care of the basketball a little better? How do you guard C.J. McCollum a little better? He had 8 threes tonight, 3 off his career high. He was so good. I think, though, for the most part, defensively, the Clippers did a pretty good job. You'll take holding a team to 113 if that's going to be the number that you hold them to. The Clippers got away with one. I mean, quite honestly, they got away with one today. They got away with it because they played so well in the fourth quarter, and they showed that callus that they've built this season. Now that's 4 in a row in the clutch for this Clipper team is really helping them come away with these big time wins. You think about now Golden State, where they had to hang on to a lead. You do the opposite here in New Orleans. You come from behind. 14-point Pelican advantage. The 8th time this season they have given up a 10-point lead, but an impressive win for the Clippers nonetheless. And just happy Adam, that you're not one of the 6 teams that have lost into the New Orleans Pelicans.
Yeah, and the Clippers pulled through and played their best basketball when they had to in the fourth quarter. When they had to have it, they were able to meet the occasion, rise above it, meet the moment, and find a way to get a victory on the front end of a back-to-back because tomorrow they will be in San Antonio after this 116-113 victory in New Orleans. Tip time from San Antonio, same time, 5 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. is when we'll have your pregame show. Carlo, hop on that bird. Safe travels. Great call as always. We'll talk to you. We'll do it all over again tomorrow, my friend.
Do it all over tomorrow. I think we're an hour earlier, right? Tomorrow we're an hour earlier, 6 o'clock, 6:30.
I thought I just saw it, at least on the Pacific time. Oh, you're right. 4 p.m. tip time, 3 p.m. pregame show. So an
Drive
hour
time, baby.
earlier. So, yeah, even tougher on the Clippers on a back-to-back. They lose an hour here. But they'll find a way to compete no matter what. That is what this squad has been doing all season long. Carlo, we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Talk to you tomorrow, Adam. Let's go!
Coming up next, we got second half highlights after the Clippers win by 3, after the Pelicans couldn't miss from 3. But they finally did. The final shot in this ball game, a heave from C.J. McCollum. That was off the mark. The Clippers win 116-113 in New Orleans over the Pelicans. I'm Adam Osland, and you're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Clippers hold on. They win by 3 in New Orleans. 116-113 is your final. Welcome back in. This is the official post-game show of your Los Angeles Clippers. I'm Adam Osland. Coming up, we'll get your phone calls tonight. We had some issues last time out. We will make sure to get to your phone calls on Clippers Talk. 866-987-2570. 866-987-2570 is the phone number. Clippers trailed 62-56 at the half in that third quarter, though, just like he has been the last couple of games now. Derrick Jones Jr. is getting to work to start second halves, and it happened again in the Big Easy.
Looking for his response. Bounces to Derrick Jones Jr. Attacks. Throws it over the top of BC. Derrick Jones Jr. detonates with a two-handed hammer. Harden bounces it to Zoo in the paint. Another pass. Derrick Jones Jr. putting on an airplane show here at Smoothie King Center. Oh, my goodness. He flies with another two-handed dunk.
DJ was 6 points in that third quarter. Some high-flying, athletic, explosive plays, the kind we have missed in past years since the Lob City days. Derrick Jones Jr. supplying that. And the Clippers would go small. The last 3 minutes and 45 seconds of that third quarter, they had Batum out there. They went +5 during that time, and they trailed by just 3 against a team that couldn't miss from threes, heading into the fourth quarter at 90-87. And then just like in the second quarter, Norman Powell going off, this time in the fourth.
Norm crosses over, takes it down Main Street, left-handed layup, trickles through for 2. Norm left wing, open for 3. Bullseye! Norman Powell cuts the Pelican lead to just 1. Norm, a team-high 30 on 23 shots, left wing 3. Got it! Norman Powell, a double bicep flex towards the Pelican bench. Offensive rebound, Derrick Jones Jr. over to Norm. Euro stepping, cooking, rolls in the layup. 35 as he screams towards the crowd, and it's a silencer here in New Orleans. Timeout, Willie Green.
Norman Powell had more than half the Clippers' points in the fourth quarter. They had 29. He had 16 of them. The Clippers got enough stops late. They knocked down clutch free throws thanks to James Harden, and they pull through in a game where they trailed by as many as 14 in New Orleans to win 116-113 over the Pelicans. Coming up next, your final box score right here on the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Ended up being a good day. Could have been disastrous. Clippers almost gave the New Orleans Pelicans just their 6th victory of the season, as the Clippers improved to 19-13 with a 116-113 win in New Orleans. Pelicans dropped to 5-28 on the year. Welcome back in. I'm Adam Osland. This is your Clippers post-game show. Coming up, we got Clippers Talk. 866-987-2570. 866-987-2570 is the phone number. You can also get to me at Follow Adam A. And we're on the YouTube side at Clippers Talk. Clippers ended up shooting 48% from the field, 11 of 32 from the outside, compared to Was that 16 or is that 18? No, they had 16 entering the fourth quarter. So the Pelicans make it 13 of 37 for the Clippers because they hit some clutch ones in the fourth quarter. But the Pelicans went 18 of 37, 49% from three. They shot 51% from the field. They had 29 points on the Clippers, 17 turnovers, and the Clippers still found a way to win this game. One of the reasons is because they got to the free throw line a lot. They attempted 27. They only hit 21, 78%. It's not bad, but there were some big misses at times. Visa Zubac's still struggling there. Pelicans were just 11 of 14 at the charity stripe. The Clippers got up 4 more shots than the Pelicans in this one. They had 14 offensive rebounds, so the Pelicans 6. There are many ways to win a ball game. Clippers dominated points in the paint 56 to 44. Second chance paint points 20-4. Off those offensive rebounds, they went 8 of 14. Fast break points, they were losing that in the first half. They ended up winning it 15 to 14. Let's be honest about it. Without Norman Powell, they have no shot in this ball game. He had, let's see here, 31 of his 35 points in the second quarter and in the fourth quarter. 15 points in the second quarter when the Clippers were reeling at times, and then 16 points in the fourth quarter when they needed somebody to step up. Norman Powell was that guy. Ivica Zubac, his 8th straight double-double, as he ended up with 20 and 16, plus 4 assists. James Harden, Clippers still undefeated. I want to say they're 11-0 or 12-0 when he gets 10 free throws or more. He went 10 of 10, make it 10 of 12 at the charity stripe. But he made the last 2, the biggest ones, during crunch time to put them up by 3 and finished with 27 points. Just 4 assists to 7 turnovers, though. Not a great number there. Clippers find a way, though. They didn't have their best. The Pelicans, that's about as good as they can play. They average hitting 11 three-pointers per game. They had 11 by half. They finished with 18, and the Clippers still find a way to overcome that. They win 116-113 in New Orleans over the Pelicans. Clippers back after it tomorrow against Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs. And while we have a moment, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification right here on the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Clippers win by 3 and survive an onslaught of threes from the Pelicans. 116-113 was your final. Outside of Los Angeles, we're leaving you until tomorrow. Pre-game show starting at 3 from San Antonio in LA. Do not go anywhere. It is Clippers Talk next. Clippers made it look hard in the Big Easy, but they come through with a 3-point victory and survive 18 made threes by the New Orleans Pelicans. Your final, Clippers 116, Pelicans 113 on the front end of a back-to-back. Welcome into Clippers Talk. I'm Adam Osland. If you'd like to get on tonight, 866-987-2570. 866-987-2570 is the phone number. Daniel, what time are we going until tonight? How long?
A little longer. 8:35.
What?
50.
All right, we'll get to your calls soon then. The Clippers got into a dogfight with a team that just happened to be hot. I'm telling you, a lot of these threes were well contested. Not all of them, but a lot of them. There were some threes that CJ McCollum was hitting. He hit one over Dunn and Ivica Zubac in the second half that was insane in the third quarter. And it felt like it could be the Pelicans' night. As Will Updike would say, it's still the Clippers' year. The Clippers were down in the first quarter, 37-31, as the Pelicans started 7 of 13 from three. Red hot. CJ had 2 of them. Murphy had 1. Herb Jones had 9 points in the first quarter. Like, this team was on fire. The Clippers still had 31 points in the first quarter. That's a good number. The difference in today's NBA is there are times where even bad teams have a good night from the outside. And you can defend it well. And you could play a guy close. And Chris Dunn had that play against CJ McCollum where he fouled him. They reviewed it. I think they overturned that one. Like, there's nothing you can do against hot shooting sometimes, no matter who is that squad. I mean, the New Orleans Pelicans are shooting 33% from three on the season, one of the worst three-point shooting teams. And they caught fire. And it started early. And they never really cooled off. Maybe you could say the fourth quarter, where they only made 2 of them. But at the half, they had what they normally average in a game. They hit 11 of their 24 attempts. That's 46%. They're supposed to get 11 per game. The averages were not averaging. And the Clippers were still down 62-56 after, just like the end of the first half against the Golden State Warriors the other night, the Clippers started to hit some three-pointers. That was good to see. Norman Powell would get one. He had 15 points in the second quarter. Chris Dunn would get one. So they closed the gap after being down by as many as 14 in the second quarter. It was just incredible shooting from the Pelicans. And you look at their record, but you're not playing their record. You're not playing the record. I told you heading into this game, you can't overlook anyone, and they have CJ, and they have DeJounte Murray, and Trey Murphy has done damage against Clippers in the past, and Herb Jones is a good player. They probably shouldn't only have 5 wins, regardless of the injuries. You look at it, you squint, and go, how? 5? They have more talent than that. DeJounte hasn't been great so far as a Pelican after coming back from the broken hand. He was 6 of 16. But CJ finished with 33. He had 15 of those in the third quarter alone. He hit 8 threes, and it was a battle between 2 former Blazers. The Blazers were blazing. He and Norman Powell. Felt like there was a little something extra. There was some really good defense at times from CJ on Norm. He isn't normally known for that. So I had seen enough where I said, look, the Clippers will be fine if the Pelicans eventually cool off. That's what I was saying at the half when the Clippers were down by 6. But then the Pels started the third quarter hot again. I want to say CJ hit 2 threes to start the third. Yes, he did. And one of them was over Dunn and Zubac contesting it. It was insane. Just uncontrollable hot shooting. And CJ he's one of those guys when he catches a rhythm, he can fill it up. If you watched him for years, one of the best performances I've seen in Game 7 was actually, God, what year was this? 2021 or 2022, Game 7. I want to say it was in Denver. Damian Lillard did not carry them through. It was CJ at the end of that Game 7 against the Denver Nuggets that beat them. 21 or 22 second round matchup, I think. That year that the Blazers got to the Western Conference Finals, and then must have been the Golden State Warriors, so that was 2022 that they lost to. CJ is a bad boy when he catches a heater. He's tough to turn off. Tonight illustrated that. I thought the Clippers were going to be tied heading in to the fourth quarter because they had a third quarter where, after being down by 12 early, Zoo has a big throwdown as he fell to the floor. Then there was the done foul on CJ. That's how tight they were playing defensively on him. The Clippers had a couple of 4-point plays themselves from Norman Powell and James Harden, but Dunn's defense was good. They won that challenge after they called that foul on Dunn. Harden found Zoo for another dunk. I like the way they got him involved. It felt more even with the amount of touches Big Zoo was getting out there. Harden would hit a big step back, but they weren't going away. Trey Murphy hit a 3. They're back up by 10 in the third. There was a shot clock violation before a Derrick Jones Jr. throwdown, but he would get that back. He would get that back and then some. He had a dunk the very next possession. And then he had back-to-back dunks. And one on Misi that was ferocious, that was well contested, that I credit the defender. Yeah, you might end up on a poster, but that's a great effort. DJ can just jump off a trampoline, and there's nothing you can do about it. Airplane mode for a reason. Slam dunk champion for a reason. He had another dunk the very next possession. But it's still a 10-point game after a CJ fall away in the third. But then they ended up going small. And I don't know if this was to get Tice off the floor. Obviously, the Pelicans don't have a ton of options. It was Tice or Misi out there. KPJ comes in for Ivica Zubac. It's KPJ, Nico, Amir, Dunn, Harden. And in the last 3 minutes and 45 seconds of the third quarter, they went +5. It could have been +8 after they had tied the game at 87, but CJ would hit a 3 to put them up 90-87 heading into the fourth quarter. So that 3-point theme, they're down by 3 heading into the fourth against a team that can't miss from 3, but the Clippers still end up winning by 3. But there were some really important buckets there where Nico hit a 3-pointer with that small ball unit. There was a KPJ 3, who I thought had a really poor game overall. Harden had a step back 3. KPJ missed an open layup. Like, he missed layups, not just his awkward falling over jumper. I don't know. Like, I'm not saying sound the alarms on KPJ, but got to be honest, I've been talking about this. I'm not sure sometimes how much his points impact winning. And if you want to make the argument, he ended up a +6 tonight. It's like he was 2 of 9. He had 2 turnovers, 4 assists. The reason he went +6 is because he happened to be on the court when Norman Powell went on a heater. Like, that's why you can't trust it in a 1-game sample size, and I don't. This was emblematic of that, a perfect example of that. I'm rooting for KPJ, but it was shaky, to say the least. Falling over with the basketball, just trying to make a move. I don't know what you're getting possession to possession. The extremes are, so polarizing and on opposite sides. It's just, you do not know what you're getting. And that stuff concerns me. Nico was incredible. Yes, the intangibles from Nico Batum. Doing the little things always. So the fourth quarter starts. KPJ has a turnover, a really bad one to start the fourth quarter, like inexcusable, just losing the basketball. And there were a couple of them. It wasn't just him. Dunn had one on an extremely lazy pass to James Harden that Murray just took away. Candy from a baby. So the Clippers are down. And after Batum got back on defense after that KPJ turnover, that was just an incredible play to stop that from being an easy bucket for New Orleans. But then Norm has a wraparound pass to Zoo for 2. So they're down by 1. KPJ misses a layup going left where he had all the room in the world. I have no idea what was going on there. Green gets a layup for the Pelicans. Then there's another turnover and bucket for the Pelicans after a bad Norm pass. Zubac's up and under bucket made it 94-91. Clippers back within 3. Murray with an oop to Misi, 96-91. Norm gets a quick layup. And that's what he was doing a lot in the fourth to get to his 16. Downhill attack. I love seeing that. I was worried this Brandon Boston 3 to put him up 6 at 99-93 would kill the Clippers. Norm gets another layup, 99-95. He goes right, then he goes left. Zoo goes to the line for 2 and missed both when the Clippers were down by 4. I need Zoo to be better at the free throw line. As good of a season as he is having, I need Ivica Zubac to just get back to his career average, his shooting percentage at the charity stripe. He has been rough there, and he's better than this. And if they had lost this ball game, free throws would have been part of the story for the Clippers. It wouldn't have just been to me, oh, it's hot shooting, you write it off, the Pelicans couldn't be stopped. No, the Clippers had self-inflicted wounds, missing them at the charity stripe, where they were 21-27. It looked better because of the end. But also the turnovers. The overall 17 that led to 29 points for the Pelicans. That is a huge number off turnovers because a lot of them were live ball turnovers, and they were hitting three-pointers off of those turnovers. They were letting them. There was 1 3. I mean, there were a couple. The Brandon Boston 3 was wide open. They would live with that, I guess. There was one by, I want to say, Murphy after a turnover where the Clippers didn't get back in transition in the second quarter. There were a couple that were wide open, but a lot of them were contested. But when you have turnovers like that, you're likely going to give up some easy ones on the other end, and the Clippers did. They made them pay for those 17 turnovers. But I mentioned the Ivica Zubac's missed free throws, 8:34 mark. They're down by 4. He's got to be better than that. You can't miss both of them. You can't. He can't be shooting 50% at the charity stripe. Zoo has good touch. There's no reason for this. It's got to be in his head right now. I don't understand it. It is really, really confounding. So Batum gets an offensive rebound, but KPJ misses again, so nothing happens out of that. Norm a big 3 after a good Zoo rim protection on the other end. KPJ did find him there. Thank goodness he was able to find the guy who was hot. He at least was able to do that. CJ 3 out of the timeout, though, and the Clippers are down 102-98. And this was a tough 3 over Ivica Zubac to make it 102-98. And there's 7:19 left. I don't know what more you could do out of that timeout. Zoo was there. He gets a bucket over Tice. Tice gets a bucket over Zoo. Norm again gets his 28th point of the ball game. Murray gets a bucket. Zoo and 1 on a putback after Norm had a miss, and it's 106-105. The Clippers are within 1, but they were within 1 so many times in this game. And Zoo did convert and hit the free throw there. 106-105, 5:51 left. It just felt like they could not, for the life of them, get over the hump. But the guy who did it was your player of the game. CJ would come right back, though, put him up by 3. Harden missed a easy turnaround for him. Norm goes to the line. They're down 108 to 105. Now they're down 1 after he hits both. CJ misses a 3 finally. Norm gets blocked on the other end. Zoo on this wild play, his putback goes in and out. And then Messi has an offensive foul. So the Clippers are down 1. Then Norman Powell going to his left on a screen from Ivica Zubac knocks down a tough three-pointer, 110-108. And for the first time since the first quarter, the Clippers have the lead again. They had gotten over the hump. Norm was so critical in this ball game, guys. That to me was everything. Just to prove they could finally do it. It's not futile. You're up by 2 with 3:46 left. And the Clippers got another bucket from him to put him up by 4 as he was just crossing the lane, going to his left for the little push shot, the little floater. Really well executed. But the Clippers were still only up by 2 with 2:35 left. And then James Harden has a turnover that just can't happen. Up by 2, 2:35 left. It was just, I don't know, some of these turnovers are of the head-scratching variety and have been for some time now. They got to clean it up or they got to bring in another ball handler. The Clippers pull through with a 116-113 victory. We'll take a timeout here. We'll come back. We'll get to your phone calls. They win by 3 in New Orleans. Somehow, some way. Both teams were stuck at 112 until James Harden went to the free throw line with 17 seconds left. Neither team could execute for about 2 minutes late, but the Clippers got stops and eventually overcame some really bad turnovers. James Harden knocks down a couple of big free throws. Messi missed one. He missed one. Clippers win by 3. I'm Adam Moslin. You're listening to Clippers Talk here on AM 570 LA Sports. Clippers figure it out when they had to. They win 116-113 over the Pelicans, who hit 18 threes. Christopher in LA, you're on Clippers Talk with Adam Oslin. What's up, Chris?
Hello, Adam.
Hey, Chris, what do you want to say?
Yeah. Actually, I wanted to make a statement about Friday's game. It was actually my birthday on Friday, and it seemed like every time the Clippers play on my birthday, they would always get blown out. And I think about that Dallas loss that we had that time.
When they lost by 51?
Yes.
That was your birthday?
That was my birthday.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
well, the win over the Warriors is much better.
And when we had that, what was it, that letdown in the fourth quarter, I was thinking, oh, man, is my birthday cursed?
Yeah, those 12 turnovers Friday night against Golden State, it felt like they were going to melt down and have a complete collapse there, but they held on, figured it out, and they have been good in the clutch as of late, coming through when they have to.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's like, we lost Paul George, and, it almost like, I wouldn't say we have like a bunch of superstars, but I kind of feel like it's that Detroit Pistons team that beat the Lakers that year. They kind of have that makeup in a way.
Well, I don't hate that comparison, not just because they beat the Lakers. I think there's something to that. I would say if they're healthy, if they have Kawhi back, they have even more high-end talent and more star power than that Pistons team had. But that was a team that the whole was greater than the sum of its parts. Best defensive team I've seen the last 30 years. They were extremely special and unselfish out there. But the Clippers do have some of those vibes. I hear you, Christopher. Appreciate the phone call, my friend.
Okay. Happy New Year, Adam.
Happy New Year. Let's go to Javier in La Habra Heights. Javier, you're on Clippers Talk with Adam Oslin.
Hey, what's up, Adam? How are you, man? How's everything? How's your New Year's? Good?
Well, it hasn't started yet, but my holidays have been all right. How you doing? How you been? Happy holidays, you and your family.
Good. Yeah, no, I've been busy here, but it's the first time I called this year. But yeah, I saw I've just, been laying low, but I just been watching the last couple of games, and different team from last year for sure. And you got new players, and Kawhi's not back yet, but I mean, I guess it's going to take a while. I mean, they're not doing too bad, right? They're like the third, fourth seed right now, so
we'll have an update.
New team, Kawhi not playing, yeah.
Yeah. Javier, I know, you got to be liking what the Clippers are doing. They're 19-13 without Kawhi Leonard. That is completely unexpected.
Yeah, no, correct. And then, of course, no Paul George either. So, I mean, they just have to, play the way they're playing. And then what I noticed, too, also, too many turnovers. And like I said, I've been watching the last couple of games. They need a point guard.
It's been a problem all season long. Turnovers. But here's the thing, Javier, I appreciate the phone call. Don't be a stranger. Call me back tomorrow, maybe. Harden's usage rating is up 10% from where it was last season. It's a huge amount. And for a guy at 35 to have the same usage rating of guys like SGA and Luka Doncic, it's too taxing. It's too much. When Kawhi comes back, I expect the usage rating to go down at least, 6-7%. Because Kawhi's going to have the ball in his hands a lot. He was the best player in isolation last season in the NBA. There were just so many crazy plays down the stretch of this one. Even, after the Clippers go up 112-108 on that floater with Norm going to his left and then flexing afterwards, and that was on an offensive rebound from Derrick Jones Jr., one of the reasons the Clippers ended up winning this game. Herb Jones hits 2 free throws. He was the thorn in their side tonight. It's 112-110. The ball goes out on Zoo and Herb, and it looked like it could have been a foul, because now when you review a play like that, you can retroactively call the foul if you see it. They said the ball was out on Ivica Zubac. They didn't give Herb Jones the foul, and CJ McCollum gets a bucket and ties the game at 112. Then Norman Powell misses a layup. Zoo can't get it. Norm saves it, but throws it out. Dunn fouls Murphy. It was just chaotic. DeJounte Murray misses a three. DJ with the board. Harden misses a prayer over DeJounte Murray, really well contested on the right wing, and they're just stuck at 112. The Pelicans missed twice after getting an offensive rebound. DeJounte and CJ McCollum both miss. Then there's that foul on DeJounte Murray where if they don't call that, he's ripping it and going the other way for a dunk. And the Clippers are down by 2. That happened with the game tied at 112 still. Harden ends up getting the call in his favor as he was being wrapped up by DeJounte Murray. I don't know why it took so long for them to figure out that was a foul, if they were checking time on the clock or something, but it seemed pretty obvious even in real time. So the Clippers, after Harden hits both free throws, are up by 2. And then Messi goes to the line after being fouled by James Harden, which is an underrated play in this game. James Harden with that hard foul on Messi, that was huge because he's right at the basket. You don't foul him hard, and you can't foul him too hard to get the flagrant. Just the right amount, the Goldilocks of fouls to send him to the line instead of letting him get an easy push shot or maybe dunk. And Messi misses the second. But then, did it hit the rim or not? Well, it did. Otherwise, it would have been a violation and the Clippers would have had the ball. Instead, it grazed the rim. The Clippers didn't definitively have the basketball afterwards. DJ didn't have it. So it turns into a jump ball with any 2 players on the court. Zoo wins the jump over Messi, gets it to James Harden, knocks down the 2 free throws. Clippers are up by 3. CJ McCollum finally misses a 3, a heave from distance, and the Clippers win by 3. Quick timeout. We'll come back. Clippers win 116-113 in New Orleans over the Pelicans. More of your phone calls. More of you guys in the chat, too. I'm not ignoring you here. Appreciate you guys. I'm Adam Osland, and this is Clippers Talk here on AM 570 LA Sports. Yeah, they were blowing some crazy whistles, some wild reviews, just a bizarre game that the Clippers win anyways, thanks to 14 offensive rebounds, which gave them a few more possessions against a team that hit 18 threes in the New Orleans Pelicans. But the Clippers win by 3 over the Pels. I'm Adam Moslin. This is Clippers Talk. Mike in LA. What's up? You're on Clippers Talk. Hi, Mike.
Hey, Adam. You know, I mean, I think you spoke about this earlier, but Zoo's free throw situation this season has been so just confusing.
Yeah.
I mean, he shot free throws well in the past. He had pretty much throughout his whole career. He's been a pretty good free throw shooter, even when he had like the broken hands and everything.
He has. For a
And
big
this
man,
year,
he's been really good.
I mean, and this year, this year, I mean, it's, it's cost us games. It almost cost us, tonight, or would have contributed to costing us. It's just wonder what's going on. It's a shame because it's other than that, he's having such a wonderful, great year. I mean,
yeah, it's the lone blemish with Ivica Zubac right now. But outside of that, he's been awesome. And
I mean, he really
can't be perfect, I guess.
Here's
the good news. He improved as the season went along last year at the free throw line. Now, he wasn't shooting it this poorly, but it could happen again. He's got a big body of work at the charity stripe. He's better in this, right? So there's time. There's 50 games left, and the Clippers are 19-13 without Kawhi Leonard. Pretty incredible. Mike, appreciate you. Sorry I wasn't able to get you the other night, and I apologize to the callers. We are having some technical issues, so appreciate you calling in. Let's do it again tomorrow, my friend.
Absolutely.
We'll take a quick timeout. We'll come back. We'll close things out. We'll give you an update on the Western Conference standings with Daniel West. I mean, how could he not be the guy to update us on that? Appreciate you guys, whether you're listening on AM 570 LA Sports or at Clippers Talk on the YouTube side. The Clippers win 116-113 and avoid disaster in New Orleans. Can't lose to a team that's 5 and now 28. I'm Adam Osland. We'll get some quotes from Coach Lou post-game coming up next here on Clippers Talk on AM 570 LA Sports. Hey, all's well that ends well. Yes, it would have been their worst loss of the season. Maybe the worst in a couple of years. If you lost to the team with the poorest record in the league, stuff was happening in New Orleans. Just a wacky ball game that the Clippers find a way to win anyways. And I talked about it earlier with Carlo Jimenez, but this is the mark of a good team. They didn't have their best. The Pelicans, I don't know if they're going to shoot 18 of 37 the rest of the season in any game from three. They're not a good three-point shooting team. Tonight they were. Maybe they'll get healthy with Brandon Ingram and stuff and open up their offense. But the Clippers win 116-113. I was concerned. Down by 3 heading into the fourth quarter, but who came through? Norman Powell. 16 points in the fourth, 35 in the game. NBA.com/Clippers/vote. You got to vote for Norman Powell to be an all-star this season. Here he was post-game with Joey Lynn saying, quote, on how hard he's worked, extremely hard. 10 years. Even before that, just sacrificing and committing to the grind, believing in myself no matter what people were saying about me, putting limits on my game, putting caps on the type of player I could be. Coming into this league, people said I couldn't shoot, couldn't score. I just continued to believe in myself and elevate my game every offseason using the motivation from the doubters. Pretty cool. Pretty incredible story. Averaging 10 more points per game than he did last season. If he's not an all-star, he's got to be a most improved player at least. He should be an all-star, though. Like, the numbers are there. The efficiency is there. The wins from this team are there. 19-13 without Kawhi. When you put it all into context, doing this without Kawhi, doing it without Paul George, and a guy who's playing better than Paul George is this season for the Philadelphia 76ers, addition by subtraction is his name, how can he not be an all-star? But there's always so many guys with cases. I just want you guys to get out there and rock the vote for Norman Powell. Another guy I want to highlight, Ivica Zubac, his last 8 games for the Clippers. Tonight, 2016, 4 assists, 1 block. Friday against the Warriors, 17, 11, 2 assists, 5 blocks. Game before that, 20, 19, 4 steals, 1 block against Memphis. 13, 15, 3 assists, a block against Dallas in game 2. Game 1, 21, 15, 5 assists, 2 steals. They won that one. Before that, 19, 12, 4, 2 blocks. 13, 13, 21, 12, 8 straight games with a double-double. Big Zoo is a monster. And if they are single covering him, he is destroying whoever is at the rim. Had a right-hand hook shot early. Put back on a done miss. Just the array of baskets that Ivica Zubac can get for you now. Only thing missing is his usual percentage at the charity stripe, over 70% from the free throw line in his career. But I'm not going to nitpick too much. He's been too damn good. Speaking of, Daniel West, too damn good. Our new producer here on Clippers Talk. Daniel West, can you give us an update on the Western Conference standings after the Clippers improved to 19-13 on the year?
Adam, I would love to. So there wasn't a lot of action tonight across the league. We just had a few games of note, especially for the Clippers. Dallas, not quite done there yet, but Denver did win tonight. They were the 7th seed. So the way it looks, unfortunately, as of right now, Clippers still number 5. OKC number 1, Grizzlies at 2, Rockets at 3, Mavs at 4, your LA Clippers at 5, Lakers at 6, Denver at 7, Wolves at 8, Warriors 9, and then the Spurs are the last team in the playoff play-in conversation.
Wait, where are the Lakers again?
Lakers are 6. Mm-hmm.
Need them lower.
Yeah.
I need the Clippers higher and the Lakers a little bit lower.
I'll do my
here.
best.
Thank you, Daniel. Appreciate it. Yeah, Clippers in that 5 spot. And only a game back of the Dallas Mavericks in the 4 spot. They have injuries going on right now, so they're in a game in Sacramento.
Yes, they were winning at last check.
Yeah, I got them up by 4 with 7 minutes left in the third quarter. Sacramento should be playing desperate basketball. Typically, players, when their coach gets fired, you know, it lights a fire under them to be like, hey, it wasn't us. See, we're still going to go out there and play and get wins. It was him, not us.
Yeah, apparently there are some rumblings that Fox might be on the trading block, though. That's what I saw.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't know how the Clippers would be able to pull that off, but maybe a team like the Houston Rockets, unfortunately, would have the assets to bring in a De'Aaron Fox. If I'm the Kings, though, I can't let him go. I mean, he's the best player.
Yeah.
For years, they couldn't draft anybody, and they lucked into getting him because the Lakers were taking Lonzo Ball instead of Jason Tatum.
That worked out well for basically the Celtics.
Yeah,
that's about it.
The Celtics. We'll take it. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Clippers win in New Orleans, 116-113. They survive. 18 made 3-pointers by the Pelicans, 8 of them coming from CJ McCollum. Thanks to Norman Powell, 35 points, 16 in the fourth quarter. Clutch, like he has been. He just had the game winner against Memphis. What more do you need? He has the highlights. He has the signature moments. Get him into the All-Star game. One more time, NBA.com, NBA.com/Clippers/vote. Get out there. Before we get out of here, I do want to thank the Clippers organization, Ralph Waller, Brian Seaman, Noah Eagle, Carlo Jimenez on the call, the callers, the listeners, Big Brother Jake Warner, thinking about you, bro. Our producer, Daniel West. Until tomorrow, with your pregame show starting at 3, Clippers in San Antonio taking on Wemby. I'm Adam Oslin. We'll talk to you then.